Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry, where it is raining, which is nice because our water supplies were starting to get a little bit low. So this should hopefully help buff them up, although that's not doing so well down there, is it? I think we do have to look at getting rid of this brine from this one and making this a water positive solution. I think that's something we're going to do today. What else we're going to do today? Well, we've started getting the big trucks, the big boys that I've never had before. We've got one of these. We also have, I just saw a message pop up, a haul one, which is struggling to find a destination it can reach. Where are you trying to reach? You're not going to tell me, so I can't do a lot about that. What do you want me to do if you can't tell me where you want to go? I can do nothing. Literally nothing. Okay, that's fine. So, if we want to enable our haul trucks, someone had no trees to harvest, but then immediately disappeared. So I'm assuming everything's fine. I'm just going to assume everything's fine. I think we are going to rapidly run out of stuff to plant, though. I feel like we need more tree harvesters. We don't have a lot of vehicle parts 2. That's because they're all just being immediately thrown out to vehicle parts 3. That's not the right one. This is the right one. Yes, because that hasn't backed up. That's fine. We'll leave that going for a little bit then. Where are you trying to go? Which truck is it? You're trying to go there. Well, I don't think that's as much of a problem as you're making out, my friend. Oh, is it not you? Is it you? You're struggling to find a destination, but again, you're not going to tell me, and you're not going to tell me? You are going to tell me. You are trying to get to this diesel storage here. Yeah, we're going to just have to do some bridges, I think, aren't we? But first of all, let's look at the water situation, because I think that's probably more important. So we need to move all this. We continue filling over there. So I'm going to start moving these down here. Let's get 3 down. I don't know if we need 3, but let's get 3 down. Let's get a big old... Do we need a... Is that a Mark 3 pipe? They only output 108. We don't need a Mark 3 pipe. Let's get a Mark 2 pipe. And let's bring that straight up to height 5 and plug it straight into there. Do we need to worry about bridging down this area? Is this the permanent solution? Permanent place they're going to live? I don't know. Let's put a bridge in. Let's just start by being sensible, shall we? We're probably going to need a bigger one if we ever start running all 3 of those. So let's pop this down here. That's fine. And then let's get the Mark II pipe. I'm thinking if we need to bring down the brine waste as well, we need to be thinking properly about where stuff's actually going to go. So let's plug that into there. That's fine. Let's just unity that, and that. And then we need to think about how we're going to get the brine out of here. So right now, the brine goes into this pipe, which goes down here and over here. So if we put a balancer in about here, unity that out of the way. Let's get ourselves a pipe balancer. Collision with electrolyzer. If I bring it up again, bring it up again. Cannot find valid pillars placement. Okay, it can go there. Does that mean it can go lower there? It can go there. Okay, that'll do. So let's take another one off of there. When you're ready, let's pop that into there, that into there. Unity, unity, unity. Make that the priority out, and then we need to take another output, which we need to take over in this direction. So let's bring that here, and then over to here. And then I think, oh no, I wanted you to go there. And then let's bring you down to ground level and underneath at this end. And then we're going to want an output. Where am I looking? Water. No waste output it's going to be, isn't it? It's going to be a liquid dump we want. You can get rid of 60. probably didn't need a Mark II pipe for this. But we've got one. How much brine are you producing? You're producing 42, so one should be plenty. And that just means this is gonna run a bit more often. I don't know whether it's worth getting another one of these up and running. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it. Let's get another one of these up and running. Build that pipe, build that pipe, build that pipe, and that pipe. Think about a pipe I didn't need there, but that's fine. It's only a little pipe. Because they take 108 water each. So let's build another one of those and connect that into there. And then let's unity that and another one of these. This is going to need another Mark II pipe, which we're going to bring over to here and plug into here. Too close under the pipe connector. Of course it is. We could just make that a Mark III. If we just do that and then upgrade that chunk to a Mark III, that will probably be fine. Okay, so now we've got two of these running, which are outputting potentially 80 brine. These need to be told what they're actually dumping. So you are going to dump brine and nope. Brine and only brine. We're going to apply that to that. We don't want trucks bringing stuff in, so let's just disable that straight away. We also don't want trucks taking stuff out of these. That will be piped. That's full. That looks like it should be running. That pipe says it's full. No, it's because it's just full at the other end. That's fine. So you're going into... Wait a second. That is not the correct water pipe. That is not the correct water pipe. That is the normal water pipe, not... Oh no, that is the right pipe. That is the right pipe. Cancel that. That is the seawater pipe. It's just because we're coming from the other area. And it's just a bit full at the moment because this one is also going, but we can delete that and we can delete that. We no longer need any of that. Let's just unity that out of the way. And then let's tell these to continue dumping over here as well, just to fill in that section. Okay, so now we should be making... That should be fine. You're full of brine. You're full of brine, but you're not outputting brine because I didn't actually build this one. That's fine. That makes sense. We just researched hydrogen for our... we have all of these getting quite low. But now that these are outputting more water... Do we need to check that they have enough space to output water? They output 78 water. It goes into a Mark III... Nope. It goes into a Mark III pipe, so that should be absolutely fine. So they should be running just about constantly now. They're outputting a lot of water up here. This should start filling up. And then this one here, we can look at what we're going to do with this. I would hope to see this start filling up. It is not happening as of yet. It's currently just cycling around itself, which is why I think it's getting itself a bit confused. Do we want to if we just pause this pipe a second? Because that's the feedback loop from this. What we want this to do is just to fill this tank up, which it's now doing. And what we want really is a balancer on this pipe. Because this is the input from this. So we want a balancer here with both of these going into it, with two outputs going down here. And then another output going over here which says if this is full and you can no longer fill this up, then send water in the other direction. I think that's what we want. I don't think we really want this balancer down here, because right now it's going to get itself really confused. What we want is to have this full. I think that's right. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to put a balancer in over here. Let's unity that. Get a pipe balancer in, which we're going to put there. Let's delete another section of this and another section of this. Unity that, unity that. Let's unity this. You're going to go into there. You're going to go into there. Unity, unity. Those are the priority outs. And then we want a Mark II pipe coming from here, connecting up to this one, which you are struggling to find a way to do. We can bring you over there. That's fine. And then I'm going to flip this pipe. I'm going to unity this one. I'm going to unity this one, he says. This one, I'm going to just pause for the moment. And what we should see is when this tank fills up, excess water coming from these, which should be running basically non-stop. They still are. And they send the water, I was looking at the wrong pipe, they send the water into this one. Yes. And then that should be full, so we're now sending water up here, which goes into this, which we don't want it doing anymore. So let's get rid of that, because otherwise that is literally just feeding those and it's going to help no one. We want you to come into here instead. Right now the priority input is from these. If we make this the secondary priority input, that'll allow these to start hopefully filling up a little bit, because we should have water coming up here at any moment. What's the other input? Oh, that just comes from these ones as well. Okay. So we should be starting to see, in theory, water coming up there. Because this is full. We have water coming into these. They are prioritizing the output into this, but that's full, so now it's going to start sending water up there. Okay. Excellent. So it's going to take a little while to get up there. You're struggling to find a destination you can reach. What are you trying to reach? In fact, where are you? Or you're trying to get to there to dig out something you don't need to dig out. What? Yeah, you're the flattenator. You're just finished is what you are. Let's the flattenator, this one here. Let's bring that over here. I want to flatten some of this a little bit. So let's put a mining designation in here, and I want to just flatten some of this to give us a bit of a path through here. I want you to do that. So if I find you again, edit your area, let's do a new rectangle, just do all of that. That'll be perfect. Obviously it's going to destroy that water pipe in the process, but we'll have to fix that when we come to it. So you should be disappearing off to do that momentarily. Any minute now. Any minute now. Let's also clear up a bit of this, because we don't need this one here anymore. We don't need this bit, or this bit, or this bit, or this bit. We don't need any of this. We don't need any of this, or any of this, or that little bit that's down there, which has been there for Lord knows how long. We need most of this still. We don't need this one because they finished doing that. We don't need this chunk because they finished doing that. That's at least tidied it up a little bit. We also don't need really any of this. Let's just continue tidying some of that up. And we don't need any of that. Just makes everything look a little bit neater. We don't need any of that anymore because that's all been done. Cool. That looks a bit better. You are struggling to get somewhere. Yeah, okay. So we've done the water. We've now made this a water positive system, which is exactly what we want, and it's now outputting water every now and then onto that system, which is coming up here. And this is kind of like the main water input for everything, apart from this, which is fine. How are we looking over here? Everything's looking pretty full and happy. That's organic fertilizer, yes, which is obviously quite full. But we're not making any organic fertilizer up here, and we're only making it down here, and any excess goes to the farmers via that balancer. So that should be fine. Okay. Okay, right. I do like having a few bridges around. And this isn't going to pollute because we're just chucking brine into the ocean, so that doesn't do any pollution. If you can tell me where you're trying to get to. There we go. You're trying to get over there again, aren't you? That's fine. Yeah, we need to do a bit of bridge work. We need to tidy up all of this. All of this. And really, we could do with moving this entire thing either up or down, which is obviously a nightmare. Let's take a copy of this and just pop this somewhere where it's not going to be too in the way. Let's pop it down there. I don't really want to, but I think we have to. Otherwise, it's just another place the trucks can't get past. So and we'll move it up closer to the pipes and get some space here. So let's just get rid of. It's kind of painful, but okay. Let's get rid of all of that. Okay. And then we're going to need a bridge here for... What have we got here? 4 things. So that's at least a vehicle ramp medium. So let's pop this in here. Cannot find valid pillar displacement. What? So you can come down to here. So if we brought you down to here and over here, they can't be on the same transport. But I think if we put a connector on... here, it would work. Oh, that's now going to work. Okay, that's fine. Let's do that. So we can get that built, and that built, which means we can delete this chunk. There's one of them done. That is almost certainly too close. I think we need to move this I think we need to move this. Let's immediately get rid of it. I'm sorry, bridge. Ramp, even. Whatever you are. I'm sorry. So let's move this. That's because it's got that there. Okay. So yeah, let's move it there. Oh, but I don't want to. Let's move it there. We've got 2 other belts to bring through yet. That's the thing. So if we bring this into here, what's this? This is the wood, which is not going to do. Let's just pop that there. Let's get a flat connector, which ideally I would want there. Where did you just go? Don't go there. I can't cut you for some reason. Let's pop you there. I don't want you to go that way. You did it just now. Oh, you. There. So if we unity that one, and that one, we can then get rid of that belt. And then if we take one off of this one, I would again like you to take a different route ideally, but if you're not going to, whatever. But then we're going to block pipes going through there, aren't we? None of this is going to work. Oh, this is going to work because there's not enough space. I think we're going to have to use lifts. I don't really want to use lifts, but I think we're going to have to use lifts. Lifts. So let's do that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get ourselves a loose lift, which we want on the ground. Thank you. We'll rotate it. We're going to plug you in there. Why don't you want to plug in there? Because you're the wrong way. Flip, plug you in there. Try to get that the same. I think that's the same height as that one. And then we also want a flat lift. I'm going to press all the buttons till I get it right. We want you to go to there, I think. And then you connect there, and yeah, that's fine actually. And you connect into there. And then if we're using lifts, we might as well use another lift. Why not? Flip it. Pop it in there, bring it up one. And then you go into there. You need to be flipped, which means you are wrong. That's not going to let me do that, is it? It's going to be a pain. Right. Flip. Yep, you go that way. Bring it up one, connect into there. Excellent, that's what we want. You connect to there. Come over to here. And yeah, perfect. So you can get built, you can get built, you can get built, you can all get built. And then we can delete that chunk as well. And then it's just this pipe. So we're going to bring this from here over to here. Bring it down to ground floor. Bring it to there. Bring it to there. Start and end are the same. That's fine. So let's bring it there. Delete this all the way up to there. Unity that. Plug you in there, and then Unity, Unity. Okay, so that's one end sorted. We now need to do exactly the same thing over there. Is there a way that we could do that where it only requires one bridge rather than two? Because it seems a bit silly, doesn't it? There probably is. Well, let's not bring them down that way at all. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think, and it's taxing my poor brain. So we've got stuff coming out of here that we want to come down here and over here. I think we are going to need two. These are still marked for deletion, aren't they? Yes, but they're just never going to get deleted. Let's just quick remove that and quick remove that. So we no longer have any of this being built, but that's fine. We'll deal with that in a moment. So we might want to move this all back a little bit so we have room for bridges everywhere. I just can't think what the best option would be here. So we need like a bridge here, then another bridge here. It just seems like a lot of bridges, but I just can't think of an obvious solution. There probably is one. Like I say, it's just not there at the moment. So if we built another vehicle ramp medium and pop that in like there. Which means we don't really need those lifts now, do we? Because everything could just stay at ground level. Okay. So let's delete all of that. Let's just start this again. So we want them to come out of there. We don't really want them coming across here because this is going to be our thoroughfare part. They're going to come out of there. They need to connect up here, so they can come out of there, go through. I think we're going to have a bridge like there. Let's just pop it a little closer because we can, and then let's start thinking about how this is all going to connect. So you need to come in now at height 5 and connect to this pipe. But ideally, I don't want you... You just got yourself immediately stuck, haven't you? I think so. I don't know what you're doing. I don't really want to block those off, so maybe we need to actually start at the other end. So let's bring this here and up to here. And then you need to connect to this, but you can't find valid pillars placement. That's because that went over something beforehand, isn't it? What if we bring this back a bit more? Did I not just unity you? I feel like I just unitied you. Okay, you can now connect there. I still don't know if that's great. What's next? Oh, that's definitely not great. Okay. And then we have the wood, which is going to come to here. And connect into there. I think that's fine. Then the concrete blocks. Which are going to connect to there. And then this, which is blocked. Well, that's fine, because what we can do is just move this up a tile. And you need to connect to this one, I think, and I think we also just broke that at some point. Okay, let's try this. Let's unity, 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 unity. At least that saves us having to use the, have I unitied that farm? No. So that gets us over to there. Let's rebuild this, which I'm thinking we might pop in a little closer to these pillars and bring this back as well so that we can leave that area free for a bridge. So let's bring that so it's in line with the wood storage. So only things that didn't build were the this, what's it called? Fuel gas. That can go in there. That's fine. And then the water, yeah, that can just try and get it in line. Cannot find valid pillars placement. But if I do that, it's fine. Okay, that's okay. Let's get it all built. And then we can delete this one. And we're just going to quick remove it for ease. And then we're not going to move this one yet. We're going to think about this. Because over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which means we need a large vehicle ramp over here. And that gives us access to this area then. And then we're going to need something over here and here as well. But we'll do that like here so we can get rid of this weird little thing. And that's going to start giving them access to everything they need to. Where are you trying to get? Ah, so even though that's now there and that's looking good, you can't actually get there because there's not enough space here. Oh. Why? I feel like I need to move all of this again. I need to move this one like right back, don't I? Oh. Bridges, you are not my favorite thing in the world. Or ramps, whatever you want to call yourselves. We've almost got all this built, so that's great. That's going nicely. We don't want trucks having to bring stuff over there, so that's fine. We have left a nice big space here, though, and it also still gives them access to deliver stuff should they need to, which is great. We didn't really want to build all 8 of these, so let's get rid of those. We have no free housing, but also we have oodles and oodles of people, so let's disable natural population growth again. And then let's upgrade. Let's just do another 3. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work there. It's definitely not going to work there. We sort of need to shunt it back so it's like in line with these, don't we? Where are you trying to reach? You don't know. That's fine. That's fine. How are we doing for time? 35 minutes. Okay. Okay, fine. I mean, it has to be done, doesn't it? It has to be done. There's not a lot we can do about it. It just has to be done. So let's cut all of that off there. Get rid of all of that. At the very least, we probably need to get rid of a bit more. So let's do a bit more. Let's unity all of that. And that's left behind these little nuggets. So let's get rid of those as well. Okay. And then we need another one of these, which now we're going to put like here. To try and give as much room as possible for everything else. Okay. So now you are going to come over to here. You are going to come to here. You need to connect into this. Can you do that in a nicer way somewhere? Yes, right there. So we can get rid of that chunk now. Okay. You are going to come to here. You are going to immediately annoy me. So you... I need you to connect to this without doing that weirdness, which you can now do fine. So why did you think about doing something weird before? We've got a couple of things struggling to find destinations they can reach. I now no longer know which of these is which. Where are you going? You're wood. Okay. You are now, what, slightly too long to reach over there? Yes, that is exactly what that was. So we can get rid of that bit. Then we have the bricks that we don't know quite where they're going to go yet. So let's just leave that there. I suppose we do, but we don't know where this is going to go yet. That's the thing. And then we have this, which is going to come to here. And then it's going to go up to height 5. And then you need to connect to... Honestly, very little idea. I think this one. But this pipe has been broken again. How does that pipe keep breaking? Was it when I put stuff down? But that shouldn't be the case, should it? Right, so if we do that, and we do that, and then we find our big old haul truck, so you can now... Ah, no, you still can't get over there because of this. This corner here. Which probably is this belt here. We do that. That looks doable now. Okay, excellent. Obviously these haul trucks can get under height 5 pipes, but we're also planning for the excavators to come at a later date as well. Right, you both have ran out of stuff to mine, have you? Okay. Where are you? I thought you were going to show me your area. You're over here. So you have finished flattening all of this, which is just great. But you haven't done this little bit here. Oh, you have. That's a dip. Okay. Oh, okay. So what are you going to flatten next? I'm actually not too sure. I guess this area? Or you just go up here and continue this? Have done all of this. Oh, that's amazing. Ah, okay. Right, let's think about this a second. What would be... If we had like a big project, what would we want them to do? We have a ramp going up here and over there, but I don't know that that's enough for big trucks to get through. Should we want them to? I feel like we want to dig through something, or we just flatten... This is a nice, relatively easy one, isn't it? Because it's the same height either side. So if we say mining designation, Whereabouts? I mean, probably where it's thinnest, right? Which is going to be about here. Come through there. And then the flattenator. We're going to edit your area. We're going to draw a... Excuse me. We're going to draw a new rectangle. You're going to go up there. You're going to do that for me. Excellent. And then the flattenator, which has now wonderfully dug all of this out for me. I think we have to give the coal mine more to dig, actually, whilst we're here. So let's do that. I am surprised that you did all that so quickly and without destroying any pipes. Good job, you. Good job, you. What do you need to do? I've already filled in that bit, which is beautiful. I suppose you could just go back up here and continue flattening this, couldn't you? So if I said just to flatten that to start with, let's pick you up, edit your area, draw a new rectangle, put you there. Excellent. Tree planter is struggling to find a destination it can reach, which means it has planted all of the trees it possibly can. Okay. I was worried that they wouldn't be fast enough to catch up with the stuff they're doing. I think I'm just going to leave that. They're just not going to plant anything till it's cut down. Maybe we'll build... How is our... yeah, we're looking a lot better for vehicle parts too. Yeah, let's get a couple more of those. And we'll assign those. If I just do it... No, because now I have to assign trucks to them, won't I? Okay, that's fine. We'll just wait. Okay, so we've got a bridge over here. We've got a bridge over here. We need to do this one now. Do I want to do something else in the meantime? We don't have any concrete coming in right now, but I don't know if that's much of a concern because we probably have oodles and oodles and oodles of construction parts. We have to do it. Okay, let's at least do this bit. Let's not get lazy. Let's at least do this bit. So if we take out... Oh, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. But it does have to be done. Because they're all going to start losing their colours, and they don't line up necessarily either. Why does this go to a Mark 1 pipe here? Should that go to a Mark 1 pipe there? I guess so, because it's keeping up with demand. Okay, fine. I think we just have to go for it and just see, don't we? We just have to go for it and see. So if we just get rid of all of that, and we're going to unity all of that. And then we want a large vehicle ramp, which we're going to put in here. Here. Okay. So let's do this first, because I feel like the... Oh, that also lines up perfectly. Oh, that was beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Let's get this built and this built. And unity that out of the way. And then we have this one, which goes... Where? To here. And then needs to connect to this, but it doesn't really want to, because that's a height 6. Let's just pop you there for this second, and then let's delete you. We might have to do the pipes first, so they're connected, so it doesn't complain about stuff. Okay, that's fine. What even is this one? Oh, it's the recyclables from there that we've never actually enabled. Okay. Okay, and then we have what? So what would be next? Then we have this pipe, which has got to be this one, right? So you can come down to... I don't like this. I don't like this. I feel like that's just really in the way. That's better. So you can come to here and come through to here. And then I think you connect to there. And then we have this yellow one that comes out. As in it's going from right to left. And you are going to definitely be that one. Okay. And then we have the organic fertilizer, which we can put here, but we can't because we haven't left any room at that side. Just trying to leave extra space in case we need to do stuff later on. And as we can tile these up, why not? And then you are going to come out and go to height. No, height wherever that is. And you are the organic fertilizer, so you somewhat annoyingly need to connect to there. So let's plug you in there. And then we have water and fuel gas. Yep, I definitely should have gone up to height 5. That was my mistake. So let's do you like that, and let's just see how we go. Okay, you look like you've got fuel gas in. Where's the water? The water's here. So if we bring the water down to here, at height 0, you can come along to here and connect up to there. Perfect. And then the fuel gas, I would like to bring to there, and then to there, and then to there, and then to there, and then to there. What was your plan there, my friend? Right, I think that is all done correctly. Which means if we go and find our haul truck, give me some path in, you can come over here, you can come over here. You don't currently think, there you go. Now you can all get over there, and you can get down there. Okay, right. Progress with bridges. I don't know if I needed 3 bridges there. There's probably a way of doing that neater, but I just am not in a position to think about how that would work when I want trucks to have access. Because I could have kept everything like at height 5, but I wanted them to have access to this bit here. That was important to me. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Everything else is ticking over. Right. 50 minutes. We're losing a few people, but that's fine. We actually have no research because we have researched literally everything. We haven't done canola. We've found canola seeds. Fine, do canola. And then we're into the... I suppose we've got hydrogen mega vehicles. And then we've got this stuff. Okay. Let's get this one. Let's get the aluminium smelting. Ah, it's not the English spelling. I'm furious. Let's get that. I don't think I want rockets quite yet. I don't know if I'm ready for rockets. I mean, I'm so far behind on everything else. So we have trains, fine. We're not going to get to trains for a while. Biodiesel. Hydrogen vehicles could be useful. Lots of other stuff. Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's have, in the last 10 minutes, we can delete this now. And we're not done over here, because we also need to connect this one up, which I totally didn't forget about. Excellent. And then let's quickly put down a little bit of paving. We're going to want paving down there and all the way down there as well. Let's get that done as well. Why not? We've got lots of stuff coming this way. I don't know where they're coming from over here, but if we do like this and this, it's gone a little bit under the buildings, and as we've discussed, that doesn't necessarily work very well. Or I say it doesn't work very well under buildings. But let's put it in, and then we can now add a bit of paving that actually goes down here, where we might expect trucks to be going quite busily now. We couldn't do that before, if you recall, because it was too mountainous for the paving to work. But now it works. So let's get that done. Excellent. And let's also get that filled in. So I can see trucks going down there a lot. This bit needs a little bit of flattening, but we can worry about that later on. We've got a little bit over here. I don't really want to go underneath the storage. It's not quite flat enough for it to do it there. Let's get rid of those bridges because they're just in the way. Tree planters are struggling because we're not cutting down trees fast enough, but we should have made our additional tree planters now. So let's come to here and add tree harvesters is what I meant. And then let's go and find the tree harvesters that don't have trucks. And what I wanted to do really was do this and then pin this. And then tree harvester, you've got trucks. Tree harvester, you look like you have trucks. Tree harvester, you do not have trucks. Tree harvester, you do not have trucks. Problem solved. Okay. And they have started digging this up, and they have all run out of fuel. And all the trucks now have to have a look at them all. A massive drive to dump all the materials off again. We've only got this little corner to go now. So I'm going to tell it to dump. Now we're probably going to dig this up again quite soon afterwards. But in fact there's a few areas, isn't there? We want this bit dumped. And we want this bit dumped. And then we want this filled in, because we want to get rid of the water. We don't want to get rid, however, of the ramp, which is just there. And I did have a ramp on this side, but I think I've already destroyed that ramp somewhere along the lines. Yeah, let's not worry about that one then. Cool. And then we don't want to fill any of this in. Make sure we're not, because we want that to be dug out at some point. Let's clear all of this up so we can see what we're doing. Excellent. Right, stuff is looking good. So, it is pretty much at the hour mark. That means I haven't drunk tea for an hour. That's freezing cold. Excellent. That's what I like to see. I want to fix this at some point. Is it a digging thing? I think it is, isn't it? Where's the flattenatorial? Right, if I said mining designation, and I wanted you to be here, and then I said I wanted you to go at an angle, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. And then you come and do this. I just want that fixed. It just bugs me. It bugs me that they drive all this way to this lovely big ramp and then they can only use half of it. So let's get that sorted. Coal mines going fine. Iron mines going. It's going very well. I just don't like the fact that we're almost out. That is something we're going to have to deal with quite soon. Wood is getting quite low down here. Just had another crash. They don't have them very often anymore. But I can't... We've got an import route assigned. I suppose if I say accept assigned only and I tell it to bring in wood, then the trucks will... And if I just knock that priority down a little bit, that works fine, doesn't it? Because then it's not going to have the tree harvester trucks delivering straight there. It'll only come from that storage. Yeah, that works a treat. Excellent. This belt probably is going to have to move at some point, because if we start having big trucks coming over, I don't know if they'll be able to get under. I suppose they will be able to get under there. It's not actually a problem. I would like to start thinking about we're going to need to bridge this pipe at some point, because that's obviously not going to work. Are our diggers coming over? You're the flattenator. What were you doing down here? Or did you drive down? Can you drive down there now? Interesting. We are going to have to dig all of this up because of the coal. So I don't know if it's really worth flattening that, but it's given us more rock we can use elsewhere. You shouldn't have gone down too much, but you have. So that oil resource is actually getting quite low now. We haven't done anything with our ship today. I think we might want to... Did we ever pause that coal mine? We did. We can go and explore that settlement to at least get that done. And then I think we're going to want to... well, there's probably a couple of other 610s are there. Oh, that quartz one we can do. That oil rig we could probably do. Oh, there's the other uranium mine. Excellent. Everything else is 990, isn't it? So yeah, we can do these two, and that is it. But let's go visit this settlement. I probably want to upgrade this uranium mine so it's making more than 72. But I don't know exactly what it takes to make a uranium mine. Or I should say a nuclear reactor. So we're going to come down here because we've got loads of space. This isn't necessarily where I'm going to build it. But let's have a very quick look at what it takes. I've never ever looked at nuclear. So what do we need for nuclear? We have a nuclear reactor. Let's pop this down. Train is too high. There's a tiny little couple of knobbly bits there. Okay. So I'm going to come over here instead. We have a nuclear reactor. This looks wonderfully complicated. Excellent. It takes in water. That's easy. The flattenatorial has finished. That's fine, because I just noticed these little knobbly bits. So if I say to mine flat all of that, and I wish I would remember to pin that. Okay, so it takes in water, it takes in uranium rods, it outputs steam and spent fuel, which looks like it is radioactive, which is no good. So the steam we obviously know what to do with. Uranium rods, where do we get uranium rods? We get them from an assembler. Okay, let's pop down an assembler. Can we get rid of you? So we pop down an assembler. Let's pop this over this end. Where is the input for the... It's actually about here. So let's just put it here so we can sort of vaguely see what we're doing, even though these ghosts are basically invisible on this land type. Excellent. So we would want you to be uranium... whatever it was. Rods? Uranium rods. You take in enriched uranium and steel. Interesting. And you make 2 uranium rods. You need 0.5. Okay, so one of them is plenty. You need enriched uranium. Enriched uranium is yellow cake, hydrogen fluoride. Okay, so you take in this, which is going to make this. Let's pin this one a second. So you need yellow cake. Yellow cake comes from uranium ore powder, acid, which makes yellow cake and toxic slurry. So we need a acetylene tank. So you're going to go about here. You are going to take in... Oh, this is where we do the gold as well, which we haven't even begun to look at. You're going to do uranium. Okay. So So you are the yellow cake needed for this. You need uranium ore powder, which comes from a mixer. So you're going to need a mixer, which is going to make uranium ore powder. You make 72 uranium ore powder. You use 36. You produce 6 yellow cake. You use 3. So we only really need this much of everything at the moment. Obviously, we can look at scaling it all up appropriately, but let's just see where we are. Yes, you just take in uranium. Excellent. So you use that. You use acid. Acid we get from sulfur. Are we going to want to make that here? I don't know. And you make yellow cake and toxic slurry. Toxic slurry we're going to have to put into a wastewater treatment plant, because we don't want to be dumping that into the ocean. So we are going to want toxic slurry, which is going to use filter media and brine to make water and slag. Is that what the other ones make? No, the other ones make sludge. Okay. Okay. How much toxic slurry do you make? 36. You can handle 108. So one of those will probably be fine. So that is the uranium ore powder, the acid we know about, the yellow cake, which goes into here, and the toxic slurry, which goes into here. We also need hydrogen fluoride. We've got lots of messages. Hang on a second. We explored a location. Hooray! We also have lots of stuff to do with trains that we're not going to deal with for a while. Truck is struggling to find a destination it can reach because you are stuck. Fine. You are now unstuck with the power of my magic. You're welcome. What did we get to? Hydrogen fluoride. What do we do with depleted uranium? We dump it? That can't be good. that is surely not a good idea. What do you do with depleted uranium? It's got to be radioactive, right? I know it's depleted, but what do you do with it? Okay, nothing for the minute is the answer. We'll figure that out later. Hydrogen fluoride comes from rock and acid in a settling tank. So we would need one of these to go over sort of here-ish, which is going to do hydrogen fluoride, and it's going to give us rock and more slag, which is fine. It gives us 12 hydrogen fluoride. We need 1, so that's fine. So I think this little chain is done. The steel we can deal with. That makes the enriched uranium. There are definitely parts of this which are radioactive, but I don't know which parts, and it doesn't seem to tell you anywhere, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, so that makes uranium from steel and the enriched uranium. That makes the enriched uranium from the yellow cake and the hydrogen fluoride. That makes the hydrogen fluoride. That makes the... Is it hydrogen fluoride? Yeah. That makes the yellow cake. And that makes the uranium ore powder. Okay. That is everything we need. We then have spent fuel. Ah, that produces radiation. So does that mean none of the other stuff produces radiation? Because it doesn't have that marker. Let's just double check. Uranium rods don't have that. Enriched uranium doesn't have that. Yellow cake doesn't have that. Hydrogen fluoride is not radioactive. Didn't really need to chug. Chuck, check. And the toxic slurry does not have that. And let's just double check the uranium. So I think the only thing which produces radiation, which is dangerous for our people, is the spent fuel. What do we do with spent fuel? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Okay, the Flatinatorior has finished what it is doing, so you can come back up here and finish mining this. Excellent stuff. These are full of wood, and we have blocked off. We have blocked off. Okay. We have blocked off these. Now, it's probably going to mess with the tree harvesters, because they're going to want to come from 15 miles away to do that. But we don't want you putting trees down there, because I want to put down more storage, because the storage is full. And then I want to, because then we can get rid of this faster. Okay. So what do we do? Is there a waste management thing for it? We have a compactor. If I just look at, what was it? Spent. No. Radiation. Oh! Glad I didn't type the whole thing in. Radioactive waste storage. Which stores spent fuel. Okay. Right. I knew it had to go somewhere. I knew there was going to be something. And then at some point, we can take spent fuel in a nuclear reprocessing plant and turn it into reprocessed uranium, plutonium, and a fission product. The reprocessed uranium, along with hydrogen fluoride, can make the enriched uranium. The plutonium, with depleted uranium, makes MOX rods, or with salt makes core fuel, or with composite cores and electronics 4 makes space probe bars. Oh my word. And the fission product just decays over time to retired waste. But the spent fuel doesn't decay over time. Okay, that's interesting. How much? We can store 2,400 in there. Oh, you make 0.5. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of leeway there. So that's what we would need for that. And you produce 96 steam. Right now, what do we have? We have got 48, 96. We've got more than that running. We've got 3 times 48. 3 times 48. We've got 144 steam being processed and used over here. Now if we do move over to nuclear, and we're only using these boilers to power this plant, what's the point of storing 5,000 fuel gas? What else does fuel gas do? Not a lot. We can turn it into... I suppose this is for when we start moving over to hydrogen, isn't it? We'll start turning the fuel gas directly into hydrogen and then using hydrogen vehicles. Maybe hydrogen vehicles is something we consider doing at some point soon then. What did we build over... Oh, we didn't build that one over there. Okay, that was something else we were considering doing that we never got around to. That was to increase our fertilizer. Okay. Well, it's about time for us to think about stopping. So today we've done a lot of clearing up in terms of this. We have moved our concrete production so it's in a better position, so it's out of the way. We have started putting in bridges so we can start planning for the large excavators, the mega excavators. So if we can get... So we could get a mega excavator now. Maybe not all the way down there, actually. Look at this beast. He looks awesome. But so far the haul truck has done literally nothing. Literally nothing. I don't think the haul trucks could get over to this. Well, they might be able to. Where's the haul truck? You come here. You could get to there, which is probably enough. So you probably can get to the ore processor. So... if we replace this and this, we could look at getting mega excavators down there. They already have access to the coal mine. They have access to the copper mine. If we deal with this one, they would have access to the limestone mine. Where did we put our... And we could look at changing these over to mega excavators and just like having this team out in the world doing ridiculous things. But then we probably do need to give them haul trucks as well. So let's just hold our horses slightly on that. Although we are full of parts. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, yes, today, bridges, concrete, more bridges to do, lots of flattening, started to explore what we might be doing with uranium. I suppose the other thing would be numbers. If we're putting it 72 into there, we only need 36, so we could run 2 of these off of 1 of these. 2 of these produce 12 yellow cake, which is enough to do 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. So we'd need 4 hydrogen fluoride, but that makes 12. That would make us... Oh, no, if we do actually need 4 of those, because that needs 2. Oh, okay, so we do need 4 of those to actually be able to make 2 uranium rods. This uses 0.5. Does that change based on the power level we'll go into? Yes is the answer, but it doesn't really tell me how. Interesting. It also produces depleted steam as well as steam. So do we need to get like 8 of these to get 2 of these? Ah, right. So at power level 1, it produces 96. So it would only be using 0.5. But if we did that, it is then producing 192. So we would need double the... So we probably need to plan to have double the uranium rods coming out. Oh no, we don't need to, because that uses 0.5 and that produces 2. So that would use 0.5, that would use 1, that would use 2. Oh, okay, so we're already in a position where we can do that, essentially. We probably want to give that a direct water feed from its own pumps, I think. I wouldn't want to rely on our water sources for that. Let's just get that done sensibly. We're going to get a little bit of water back from that, however. We need filter media, which we are making over here, but we're not storing, are we? So maybe we start thinking about storing filter media. Or putting a balancer in, but I think we're pretty close to... We could fit a balancer in. Yeah, I think we could actually. Okay, so maybe we put a balancer in and say we send excess off to storage, like down here maybe. So we have access to filter media. Because it's not going to use a lot, is it? Again, it uses 6. This makes 36. So yeah, that would be fine. Would we need to worry about anything else? That makes 72. That uses 72. That produces 72 toxic slurry. Which would be fine for that. 7 yellow cake. It needs 24 acid, which seems like a lot. 7 yellow cake. 12 yellow cake, which is enough to do 3, 6, 9, 12 of those. The 4 hydrogen fluoride, but that makes 12. That needs a bit more acid. That goes into this. This needs a little bit of steel, which uses 2 enriched uranium, which is going to come from this. Okay. Okay. So we need to plan for this to have 4 of those. I don't think we need more than this for the rest of it. But we then need to plan about where we're going to put all of... So we need to plan this out and then have like a modular steam system underneath. I think that's what we need. And we don't necessarily need to get all of these up and running to start with, because this only uses 0.5. So if this is only using... working at 1/4 of the speed, because we only have 1 of these running, that's actually perfectly fine. We might want a little buffer in the middle and then enable this in stages and have storages everywhere. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But anyway, that's to come. So we have filter media here. It needs access to water. It needs the uranium, and it needs acid. And it needs rock. And steel. So we could either build it down here where the filter media is. So what does filter media use? Gravel, manufactured sand, and coal. So do we want to replicate all of this? That's on at least 60, isn't it? Or do we want to build it up where the acid production is? Hello. Hello. And like build it up here maybe. And if we build it up here, we could pump it into our existing steam. That's getting quite messy in terms of steam though, because then we're going to have to come into... I suppose we could... I would quite happily use the... Why has that got 2 inputs? Ah, right, yeah, because that's the balancer between the... So we wouldn't want it going in and replacing the heavy oil, which was what my initial thought was, because we'd want to sort of prioritise the nuclear over this, really, wouldn't we? We'd want the nuclear to plug in at the bottom. I wish you could just, like, get rid of supports. Like, we don't need all those supports there, they're just there, we've been messing around. So right now, the priority in comes from above. We have another input which is going to be the steam input from here. Which is the wood chips? Yes. Which is why that one's there. There we go. So we could just plug the nuclear power into this one here and say that's the priority in. Which means these will basically not run again. Well, they might a little bit, I suppose, but it would be the priority. What to do? If you have a suggestion, let me know. As always, it may be that I have already... Now, you're starting to dig up copper almost by the look of it. Not really what I want you doing. I didn't realize the copper went back quite that far. That's fine though, I guess. Ah, but it also needs water. And space is a mild premium here. Like if we wanted to build another 8 there. So it would definitely be an 8 if we built one. Which would have to go here. But really I want to bring this out over here in line with that one, don't I? Which does give us this space here for more water. I don't know. I'm not too sure what to do about the nuclear side of stuff. I would love to be able to give you more wood storage, but that is just not an option for me right now. It's just not an option for me. This one... I'm just going to tell them to keep it completely full, you know. I'm just going to tell them to keep it completely full. It's fine. Because we're empty down to here. So we could definitely have more wood down there. But I think did I put that on a lower priority? I did. So they're basically going to do anything else first. It looks like we do have some trucks bringing some stuff over, though. Okay, cool. Well, let's leave that there then. So, exciting times ahead. Lots of other stuff for us to think about. Maybe we start thinking about actually doing household goods, which are all the way down here. Greenhouse, we've done greenhouse. We could also think about... We've got 213 spare housing. If I pause that one, we have 133. If I pause that one, we still have 53. I was wondering if we might be able to get through enough where it's going to sort of force people to live in these, but I guess they're already living in those. Because if we pause this one, we're going to get our housing. Okay, we could upgrade more. I'd love to start filling in some of this stuff, but they're not quite there yet, are they? And there's a little bit of coal there we need to get, which is sort of annoying, so we're going to have to destroy a bit of this to get to it. We're almost at the bottom of the coal. Almost. So yes, next time, do we think about building nuclear? Or planning it, and where we're going to put it? I mean, there is a nice little space here. I know we have the electrical transformer there, which is a bit of a pain. But we could build it completely set. Stop it. What is this little marker I've got on my arrow? I don't know. Is it always there? I don't know. Do we want it completely separate to this? The reason I'm thinking kind of separate is the only reason to build it up here is for the acid. The only reason to build it down here is for the filter media. So neither of those are really insurmountable problems. The other thing it needs is steel, but there isn't really a place. We could build it like here, I suppose. But I feel like this has sort of got more room to expand, because we could always put more land down in front of it or expand out to the side more. Whereas here we're a bit stuck because of all the stuff around it. Plus, there is still digging to be done over here, and I don't really want to start messing around with that. So if we build it like over here somewhere, and I do quite like this little space, it gives us the... If we can build it sort of modular, although bearing in mind this can go up to 288 steam, which is going to be... where's my power? Power? That is power production. Okay, there we go. High pressure turbine is 48. 288 divided by 48. 6. Only 6. Not as many as I thought, if I'm being honest. I'm currently running 3. It is double what we've got at the moment, I suppose. Okay. So yeah, if we ran that at 2 speed to get 192 steam, 192 is going to be 3 then, isn't it? I'm very sure it is. No, it's 4. Wait, what? 96, 192. Oh, because that isn't doubling it. Oh, I see. It's a linear thing, it's not exponential. So it's 2, 4, 6. Right. Okay. So one of them can run up to 6. But we need it to do 3. So we will run at double speed to start with, where we could run up to 4. So we would need 1 uranium rod a second. So we would need to run 2 of those, which is fine. That is easily doable. Yeah, I don't know. We'll think about how we're going to plan all that out at some point. Maybe we'll do that next time. What else do we need to do? I think we really, really need to start thinking about getting these mines up and running. Kind of luckily, if we put a little... I was going to say if we put a bridge in. If we move this pipe over here and bring it down here instead and bridge in here, put a bridge in here, we can get mega excavators to this one and to this one, which is coal. So maybe we start thinking next time about actually getting something set up here, an ore processing thing, which I've left a little bit of space here for, but we've also got all this space here for it as well. To process the ore, the iron and the coal. Do we want separate processes, or can they share one? They're not too far apart, but maybe for the sake of simplicity, we say they share one. So they have separate ones, and then a couple of mining towers down and build some mega excavators and some big old haul trucks for them, and they will absolutely smash through that. We then have to get that iron and that coal all the way down here and into these buckets, and I don't know if mega excavators can get to those. Maybe, or they can definitely get to this one. These, I guess these should be accessible because other trucks can get there, but is that because they can get underneath the belts and the mega excavators couldn't? I don't, or the haul trucks, I should say. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, simple as that. I guess we'll find out. Cool. But the coal dump is there, which they're definitely going to struggle to get to. Because how do you get there? Through there, I guess? Which would mean, you know what it would mean. It would mean another bridge. Did you just appear out of nowhere? Did I imagine that? Anyway, cool. Let's finish up. I hope you're enjoying Captain of Industry. We've got some very cool things on the way. Lots more bridges needed all over the shop, quite frankly. Well, I mean, there and there. Here somewhere. Here. Not really needed for this area so much. I don't think. As long as we've got some smaller trucks still. Anyway. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those amazing, fantastic, wonderful, beautiful things. I will see you next time in Captain of Industry, and as always, let's have a little look here. Yeah, all that sand's appeared under that water. Looks, we can dig all of that up at some point. Thank you very much for joining me.